guys, welcome to my channel. This is Battle with Ola. My name is Mujila Olua. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If this is your first time, I implore you to please stay, watch this video till the end and leave me comments in the comment section. Like the video as well if you like what you have seen. And of course, please subscribe to my channel, share my video far and wide. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate your views on this channel and I hope that you keep coming because there's always something on legal education for the layman, for the lawyer, and for the law student. Now that the courts have resumed in Nigeria, yes, the courts were on a 2-month strike. They started on April 9th and on June 9th, they decided to announce a resumption for June 14th, which would actually take effect from June 15th because June 14th is a public holiday. That's the Nigerian Democracy Day 2021. So now that the courts have resumed, let's talk about something that you can use in court. Now, I've said it a number of times on this channel that I do not like the Nigerian system of calling cases out of turn. Calling cases out of turn just simply means that, we call cases in Nigeria by order of seniority. So if you're a junior lawyer, for instance, and you come to court by 9 a.m., because the court sits by 9 a.m. or so soon thereafter in Nigeria. So if you come by 9 a.m. and you could sit till 12, 1, 2 p.m. without doing your matter because seniors came later and they kept calling their cases out of turn. Out of turn just means that they are calling their cases by order of seniority. So even sometimes if you think that, oh, I've come early, let me call my case, the court or a senior will call you to order because you have to wait for your seniors. And especially SANs are allowed by law. The others is just general practice, but by law, SANs are allowed to actually call their cases ahead of every other person. SANs are senior advocates of Nigeria, and as a rule, they can come at any time and call their cases at any time, get it done with, and leave the court as they please. Now, I do not like calling cases out of turn because, one, what it does is that it wastes the time of everybody. So, for instance, you could just come to court to move a motion, and the senior has come for a case for a matter that's going on, which means you have to sit in court all day just because you want to move a motion, and someone's matter is going on just because they are senior to you, even if you came earlier than they did. What have I proposed? I have proposed that, lawyers should be given time slots for their cases. So, for instance, when you're getting your date, the date for your matter at the registry, they should give you a time slot. That is, you should come by 10 a.m. That's when your case will be called, or you should come by 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. as the case may be. That might save us a lot of time, and of course it will reduce the overcrowding problem that we have in Nigerian courts as well. Yes, we have an overcrowding problem. If you go to some courtrooms, sometimes litigants have to sit on the floor or they have to sit outside, and sometimes it's very rare. They have been in a court situation whereby the lawyer and the litigants were dragging chairs. Very recent, this year happened. This year I was completely livid because it was such a sorry thing to see, to witness as a lawyer. A lawyer and a litigant dragging chairs. Things like that would not happen if lawyers were given time slots. But while we're still practicing our out of turn system, let me teach you today how to call your case out of turn. So if you're a junior lawyer, this is especially very useful for you. I called my case out of turn for the first time in years of practice this year. And that's because I do not like embarrassment. So, if you want to call your case out of turn and you're not so senior, what you have to do is look around. So you look around at faces and you have to wonder, oh, am I senior to this person? Are they senior to me? And so you have to confirm that you are senior to every other person, every other lawyer in court before you stand up and call your case out of turn. Because if you happen to call it and then there's a senior lawyer, they would stand up and it will be embarrassing. Sometimes even the judge will tell you to sit down, and that can be really embarrassing. So I don't even bother. I just sit down, let everybody do their cases, and when it's my turn, clearly my turn, by age and by all means, I get up and I do my case. In fact, there are times when the judge would ask me, oh, ma'am, are you here on a courtesy visit? Where have you been sitting all day? You should call your case to when other people are calling their cases. Honestly, left to me, I don't want to be caught up in that embarrassment. I've done a video earlier where I spoke about the day that, two lawyers started fighting about year of call because they wanted to call their cases out of turn at the same time. And the judge got up and left us all, and that was it for that day, even though I had sat in court till 12 p.m. So it meant that for that day, I did not achieve anything, even though I sat for hours in court. So that's what calling cases out of turn can, amount to in the Nigerian courts. But if the coast is clear, that is, if you're certain that you're senior to all other lawyers in court, or if you've asked for their permission, that's another thing. You can ask for the permission of your senior colleagues. If they give you permission, you can call your matter. Usually they would give you permission where you're just trying to, pick a date or move a motion, and, their own matter is going on. So they would allow you graciously, usually, to call your case out of turn, get it done with and leave the court, so that matters that are going on can go. And sometimes the judge would also ask lawyers that are present what their cases are for. So if, for instance, there are seniors whose cases are going on, and your own case is just for mention, or you want to pick a date, or you want to move a motion, and course motion, the court would sometimes ask you to go ahead and call your case so that they can dispense with it, and the court can be cleared for people that actually want to proceed to trial or continue trial that day. So how do you call your case out of turn? Like I said, you must have ascertained that you're the oldest, or you must have asked the permission of every other lawyer older than you are. So you stand up, and now another thing is that equity aids the vigilant and not the indolent. So if you want to call your case out of turn, make sure that as soon as the judge is closing the case before your case, you call it. That is, as soon as the judge is saying, oh, motion granted, matter adjourned to so for the last case, you get up and you immediately call your case. Because sometimes if you're not swift enough, the judge would ask, the court registrar to call the next case. And judges are very swift in writing. So once they've called the next case, and you were not able to call your case in between the last case and that one, you have to keep waiting and waiting and waiting until the coast is clear. So you have to really be vigilant. Once the adjournment is being pronounced by the judge for the case just before, make sure you get up and you quickly call your case, and you say, oh, with the kind permission of this honorable court and my learned seniors, may I humbly mention case number so. That's another thing. You have to have checked the cost list for the day and mastered, your own, the number of your case. So if your case is number 9 or number 10, you must have noted it. Not that you stand up and then you start looking for the cost list, or you start guessing, or maybe you call the name of the case and expect the judge or the registrar to know the case you're talking about. It doesn't work that way. So you must have come to court, looked at the cost list, decided that, okay, my case is number 9 and 10, or my cases are from 10 to 15. So I want to call this particular one out of turn. So once you get up, you say, with the kind permission of my learned seniors, may I mention case number 9 of the cost list. With the kind permission of this honorable court and my learned seniors, may I mention case number 2 on the cost list. Then the judge will say, call number 2. That is, he would instruct the registrar to call your case if he's granting the permission. Sometimes the judge will look around to ensure that the other seniors are nodding that you've actually asked for permission. So permission is very important. It's not something that you just quickly get up and say, let me chance these people. Because some seniors can actually stand up and say, oh, whose permission do you ask for? You didn't ask for permission. And it could just turn to, an exchange of words and all of that. I always try to avoid that. But if push comes to shove and you have to call your case, this is how you call your case. With the kind permission of this honorable court and my learned seniors, may I mention case number 7 on the cost list. And then the court will say, call number 7. The registrar will call your case, and then you can do your matter. And as a matter of home training too, you might just thank your seniors as you're leaving or after your case. You might just thank them maybe with a nod or a curtsy when you're leaving them behind, because they permitted you to do your matter ahead of them. So that's it. I'm going to leave a live recording of the first time that I called my case out of turn at the end of the video. If you watch it till the end, I hope that when you decide to call your case out of turn, it's a huge success for you. I wish you the best of luck until Nigeria decides to adjust its system of practice. I will always see you in my very next video. Toodles.
We are grateful, my Lord.
My Lord, with the kind permission of the court.
Yeah, so Yes.
We can permission of the court and my latest name. May I mention case number 13? 13 on the court case, my lord. Thank you.
Thanks, last time.